So let me get this right out the way. What's going on with you and Diggy right now?
Oh man, I just seen him in the street. It was a problem.
J. Cole has built a reputation as one of modern hip-hop's most introspective and level-headed artists. But don't let the calm demeanor fool you. Throughout his career, the quiet superstar has been drawn into several high-profile conflicts, trading lyrical jabs and, in some cases, real-world blows with some of the biggest names in the industry.
So it's getting intense. So the nigga standing on the ground, reached up and tried to grab dude by the neck. So dude reached around and fired on him, and they both fell.
These are the top 5 artists who have found themselves on the opposite side of J. Cole. Starting at number 5, we have Kendrick Lamar. For over a decade, the story of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar was one of mutual respect and high-level competition, a narrative of two of modern hip-hop's most celebrated lyricists rising together. Their relationship began with a deep sense of admiration. Before Kendrick Lamar became a global icon, J. Cole was one of his earliest and most influential champions. In a revealing 2021 interview with Nardwuar, Cole confirmed long-standing rumors that he had tried to sign Kendrick to his own label, Dreamville Records, in its infancy. 100%, Cole admitted.
Did you want to sign Kendrick?
100%. I don't know what I would have signed him to, you know what I mean? We have our business intact, but that's how much I rock with him.
He was so convinced of Kendrick's talent that he even told the legendary Dr. Dre he had to sign the young Compton rapper.
Hey, he tested water, so yeah, I was like, yo, you gotta sign this kid from Compton, boom, boom, Kendrick, boom, boom. And then Manny was like, oh yeah, that's the kid I was telling you about, boom, boom. So
this wasn't a rivalry. It was a genuine belief in a fellow artist's greatness. For years, fans placed them side by side, debating who was the superior MC. This conversation often included Drake, cementing the trio in the public consciousness as the big three of their era. They collaborated on tracks, with Cole and Lamar even collaborating on tracks like Forbidden Fruit and teasing a joint album that became the stuff of legend for fans.
A couple months before his first album came out, we worked on a bus, and he came to Fayetteville, we worked on a bus, but he came and we did a few more songs on the bus. So at one point it was...
And it wasn't just J. Cole that said this. Even Kendrick confirmed this. They had something big coming.
And do you still have stuff with J. Cole coming?
Yeah, we're gonna drop that out the sky though. I ain't gonna give no dates, no nothing.
For years, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar had a healthy rivalry. This changed in October 2023 when Cole celebrated them as part of a Big Three on the song First Person Shooter. It was in that song, he rapped this at the now famous lines, "Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot? Is it Aubrey? Or me? We, the Big Three, like we started a league." For 5 months, the hip-hop world accepted this declaration, but Kendrick Lamar did not. On March 22nd, 2024, Future and Metro Boomin dropped their collaborative album, We Don't Trust You. And on the track, Like That, Kendrick delivered a verse that set the entire music world on fire. He directly addressed Cole's Big Three line with a stunning rejection of the premise and declared, "It's just Big Me." Feeling pressured, Cole released a diss track called 7 Minute Drill, attacking Kendrick's music. However, just 2 days later, J. Cole took the stage as the headliner of his own Dreamville Festival in North Carolina and publicly disavowed his own diss track. In a lengthy, emotional speech to the massive crowd, Cole laid his inner conflict bare.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that make me feel like, man, that's the lame shit I ever did in my life, right?
He explained the immense pressure he felt to retaliate.
And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers.
He expressed deep regret over the content of 7 Minute Drill, calling it goofy and admitting it disrupted his peace. In a powerful moment of humility, he publicly praised the man he had just dissed.
Catalog and his greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a
True to his word, he swiftly had 7 Minute Drill removed from all streaming services. The feud, as quickly as it had ignited, was extinguished by the man who had been challenged. Kendrick Lamar never responded to 7 Minute Drill, instead focusing his lyrical fire on Drake. Of all the conflicts in J. Cole's career, none were as sudden or as physical as his infamous altercation with Sean Diddy Combs, who takes the number 4 spot on our list. The altercation happened in a star-studded after-party for the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City back in August 2013. According to numerous accounts, including a detailed retelling by Terrence "Punch" Henderson, the president of Kendrick's label TDE, an intoxicated Diddy, was reportedly upset by Kendrick Lamar's Control verse, where he called himself the King of New York. He confronted Kendrick and Cole, which led to a scuffle between Cole and Diddy.
So it's getting intense. So the nigga standing on the ground, reached up and tried to grab dude by the neck. So dude reached around and fired on him, and they both fell.
The chaos was brief but intense, with Jay-Z's associate Emery Jones reportedly jumping in and joining the fight.
Another came who was best friends with one of the super celebrities that was over there. He came and started beating up one of that was on the ground.
The fight was quickly broken up, but the story became a permanent part of hip-hop lore. For a long time, both Cole and Diddy remained publicly silent on the specifics of the night. Their camps downplayed it, and they were seen together shortly after, suggesting they had quickly resolved the issue. However, the most definitive and personal account came from J. Cole himself. On his 2021 album, The Off-Season, he laid the rumors to rest on the track Let Go My Hand. In a moment of raw reflection, Cole rapped, "My last scrap was with Puff Daddy. Who would have thought it? I bought that album in 7th grade and played it so much. You would have thought my favorite rapper was Puff. Back then I ain't know shit. Now I know too much." These lyrics were the ultimate confirmation. Cole didn't just admit to the fight, he framed it as a loss of innocence. He juxtaposed his childhood admiration for Diddy with the harsh reality of their physical confrontation, and the final line, "Now I know too much," has taken on an even heavier meaning in light of the many public allegations against Diddy that have since surfaced. Moving on to number 3, we have Drake. For more than a decade, the story of J. Cole and Drake has been one of mutual respect and high-level camaraderie, not a feud. Their relationship is built on a foundation of reciprocal admiration. In resurfaced interviews, a young J. Cole has consistently shown respect for Drake's talent and impact. In one notable 2010 clip, a reporter attempted to bait Cole into criticizing Drake. Here is what the interviewer said.
Feel honestly are like more talented than him, you know what I'm saying? Like still ain't got that.
J. Cole responds in a classy Cole style.
Stars lined up, like that was his destiny. It was supposed to happen like that for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't get mad at that, or fans shouldn't get mad at that. Like, this was destined for him.
More recently, on his own podcast series, Cole detailed hearing Drake's early music and feeling a mix of awe and competitive pressure.
So the second I heard that freestyle that Eba's talking about, the Drake freestyle, 1, I was blown away because of how good it was. But 2, subconsciously, I was like, there was someone else out there the whole time that was working maybe just as hard as I was working. And with
Cole later also said that Drake's success changed the game and forced him to elevate his own craft.
Moment, I had to shift my mindset, and we had to shift our mindset about what the warm-up was about to be. It no longer could just, because Drake just changed the game.
After the fallout between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, things quietly began to unravel between Cole and Drake as well. While Cole never came out explicitly to speak against Drake, the tension was unmistakable. Drake had already found himself in the crossfire during the back and forth between Cole and Kendrick, and the ripple effects were hard to ignore. The turning point came during Cole's performance at his own Dreamville festival, where he took the stage and publicly addressed the controversy. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Cole issued an emotional apology for his diss track, 7-Minute Drill, which had taken aim at Kendrick. But in doing so, he also indirectly acknowledged the strain it had caused with Drake, referring to both of them as these two that I'd just been blessed to even stand beside in this game.
One, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this.
Following his withdrawal from the battle, speculation arose about where his loyalties truly lay. Cole provided a definitive answer months later on the surprise track, Port Antonio. In the song, he directly addressed his decision to bow out of the beef and reaffirmed his bond with Drake. He rapped, "I pulled the plug because I've seen where that was about to go. They wanted blood. They wanted clicks to make their pockets grow. I wouldn't have lost a battle, dog. I would have lost a bro." He then made his allegiance clear, leaving no room for doubt. "Drake, you'll always be my I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my." This line served as the final word on the matter from Cole's perspective. The feud between J. Cole and Drake was never a feud at all. It was a brief, turbulent moment where their long-standing partnership was caught in the crossfire of another rapper's competitive ambitions. J. Cole's history of conflict hasn't been limited to just male artists. Back in 2020, he found himself in the middle of a quiet but highly publicized feud with Chicago rapper and activist No Name. The conflict between J. Cole and No Name began in late May 2020, following the murder of George Floyd, which sparked worldwide protests.
Over the Of George Floyd in the U.S., protesters have taken to the streets around the world.
In the midst of the 2020 George Floyd protests, the rapper activist No Name took to Twitter, criticizing the silence of hip-hop's top-selling artists. Though she didn't name anyone, J. Cole responded with the surprise track Snow on the Bluff. In the song, he confessed to feeling defensive and took issue with her queen tone, suggesting her approach was alienating and that she should be gentler when educating others. The backlash against Cole was immediate, with many accusing him of tone policing a black woman during a national crisis. Just 2 days later, No Name delivered Song 33, a powerful and concise rebuttal. Instead of debating her tone, she recentered the conversation on real-world tragedy, referencing the of activist Oluwatoyin Salau and the last words of George Floyd. She rapped, "He really about to write about me when the world is in smokes," questioning his priorities. Her track was seen as a definitive end to the debate. J. Cole did not respond with another song. Instead, he took to Twitter to de-escalate the situation entirely. He never sat for a formal interview to discuss the matter, but his tweet served as his final public statement.
Folks since that?
Yeah. I had a block party this year, able to like pull up on some special guests. And he was really about it. Was like down to donate.
In the years since, she has confirmed in interviews that she and Cole have spoken privately and are on good terms, revealing he has even offered to donate to her book club's prison chapters. Their feud ended not with a winner, but with a public lesson on accountability and a quiet, mutual respect. At number 1, we have the feud between J. Cole and Diggy Simmons. The feud began around 2011, rooted in rumors about J. Cole and Diggy's older sister, the actress and entrepreneur Vanessa Simmons. The two had both attended St. John's University in New York, and whispers began to circulate that J. Cole was claiming he had been intimate with her. These rumors were amplified by Cole's own music. On his 2010 track Purple Rain, a song about a passionate affair with a preacher's daughter, a clear reference to the Simmons family patriarch, Reverend Run of Run DMC, listeners connected the dots. Cole's lyrics were explicit and personal, and the Simmons family was not pleased. In a later radio interview with 99.1 FM, Diggy Simmons himself explained the origin of his anger. He said his sister Vanessa had told him about Cole's claims, which she said were entirely false.
My sister, over a year ago, a little over a year ago, told me that, he was saying he did this, that, and the third with her, because they went to the same college, but they didn't even...
Diggy Simmons didn't stop there. He went on to say,
and then, she also told me, that he subliminally, also talked about, her in a song called Purple Rain, which was also false.
Okay.
And so, it was just me sticking up for...
J. Cole then inadvertently added more fuel to the fire on his 2012 track, Grew Up Fast. On the song, he delivered a line that was meant as a boast about his own stature, but came off as a direct slight to Diggy. S is not Russell. You more Diggy, me, I'm a more Biggie. No diss to the young boy, I'm just rapping. Get bored quickly. That line, combined with the Purple Rain situation, was the final straw for Diggy. He responded with a direct and aggressive diss track titled What You Say to Me. In the song, Diggy leaves no doubt about who he's talking about rapping. The other day, I was listening to Purple Rain, couldn't believe all of the things that I heard him say. Who dat? Who dat? You know who it is? Heard you line on my sis? Telling people that you hit. He even threatened Cole's album sales, promising to hit you with your bricks. For a long time, J. Cole remained publicly silent on the diss track. He never sat down for a detailed interview to discuss the back and forth, but he did address it briefly when asked directly. In a 2012 interview with DJ Drama, Cole completely dismissed the idea of it being a real beef.
On your radar?
Oh man, I'm not even thinking about it. But if I seen him, of course, what am I gonna go beat Diggy up or something? You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. So
Cole went on to say that he had no issue with Diggy because he is a kid. That's not the type of beef he wants to be involved in.
Nah, man, it's Diggy Simmons. Just remember this. He's a kid. He's good. He's talented, but he's a kid.
Despite Cole's dismissiveness, Diggy released another diss track later that year called Fall Down, where he called Cole Snaggletooth and criticized him for mentioning him in verses after they had supposedly squashed the beef in person. Ultimately, the feud fizzled out, largely because of Cole's refusal to give it any more oxygen. His perspective was clear from his limited public comments. He was a grown man and an established artist, and he had no interest in getting into a prolonged, serious rap battle with the teenage son of a hip-hop legend over what he considered a misunderstanding.